Have you heard of someone who seemed fine one moment but passed away suddenly? It's a devastating shock for loved ones. In many cases, the warning signs were there all along, just overlooked. Sudden death, especially in older adults, doesn't always come without warning. The body often tries to signal when something is wrong, but too many people dismiss these signs as nothing more than normal aging. That's why in this video, we're going to go over 6 critical signs that could indicate a serious, life-threatening condition before it's too late. These are signs you should never ignore, and knowing them just might save your life or the life of someone you love. Some of these symptoms may seem subtle or easy to brush off, but they often point to underlying issues that can escalate quickly, things like heart failure, strokes, and fatal blood clots. The key is recognizing these red flags early and taking action before tragedy strikes. So stay with me until the end, because understanding these warning signs could make all the difference. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos that could help keep you or your loved ones safe. Number 1. Unexplained shortness of breath. Imagine, if you will, the simple act of climbing a flight of stairs, a routine part of everyday life. Now, picture yourself starting to feel winded more easily than before. You're doing what you've done countless times, yet this time, your breath seems to falter, your chest tightens, and you pause, confused. The familiar motion suddenly becomes daunting, stirring a sense of unease and vulnerability as your body protests against the strain. Unexplained shortness of breath can be an early warning sign of conditions such as congestive heart failure or a pulmonary embolism. When the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, fluid can accumulate in the lungs, making each breath a bit more challenging. These troubling symptoms, often underestimated, can indicate serious underlying health issues, prompting you to consult a trusted healthcare provider promptly. Consider the story of Robert, a spirited 74-year-old retired teacher. For years, he enjoyed his daily walks, greeting neighbors, and delighting in the beauty of nature. One morning, however, even a short stroll left him gasping for air. He brushed it off as a normal part of aging, but soon enough, his condition worsened, leading to a massive heart attack. Robert's experience serves as a heartfelt reminder that ignoring subtle changes in your well-being can have irreversible consequences over time. Statistics tell us that heart failure affects millions of older adults, and early recognition is key to managing it effectively. In fact, studies have shown that timely medical intervention can significantly improve outcomes for those experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath. Research underscores that prompt detection and intervention can not only prolong life but also enhance quality of life for seniors. Life lessons from the elderly remind us that every breath is precious, and noticing these subtle changes can be the difference between continued health and sudden crisis. The wisdom passed down through generations teaches us to cherish every moment, listen to our bodies, and act with care. Can you recall a moment when a small change in your breathing or energy level prompted you to rest or slow down? How did that experience help you understand your limits? Number 2, frequent chest discomfort. Now let's talk about another subtle yet significant signal: frequent chest discomfort. Picture yourself settled into your favorite recliner, perhaps reading a book or watching a cherished television show, when you suddenly feel a mild pressure in your chest. It isn't excruciating, nor does it stop your day immediately. It's just a peculiar, uncomfortable sensation, a squeeze or a tightness that seems to come and go. Although these sensations are mild, they might be your body's quiet plea for attention, signaling hidden issues may be emerging. Many of us might dismiss this feeling as mere indigestion or stress, but it could be a sign that our heart is trying to tell us something important. These gentle signals, though easily overlooked, may be early indicators of serious heart conditions that require timely medical evaluation immediately. Harold, for example, was a 78-year-old gentleman known for his calm demeanor and gentle humor. He occasionally experienced a slight squeeze in his chest while doing everyday activities like carrying groceries or climbing a few stairs. Harold assumed it was just a part of growing older, until one evening, when the familiar tightness persisted and he felt unusually unwell. Unfortunately, it turned out that these mild episodes were warning signs of an impending heart problem that eventually led to a sudden heart attack. Medical research supports that chest discomfort, even when not severe, can be an early indicator of heart disease. Multiple studies confirm that subtle chest discomfort is a warning sign. Neglecting it may result in severe, preventable cardiac events. Life lessons from the elderly often teach us that our bodies communicate in whispers, long before they shout in alarms. The wisdom of our elders reminds us that signs are messages. Heeding these signals can protect health and future well-being. If you're still here with me, type 2 in the comments to let me know you're finding this information helpful. Number 3, sudden weakness or dizziness. Now, let's move on to another common yet sometimes overlooked sign, sudden weakness or dizziness. One moment you're enjoying a peaceful morning with a cup of tea, and the next a wave of dizziness washes over you, leaving you unsteady on your feet. It might last only a few seconds, or it could linger a bit longer, leaving you feeling concerned and unsettled, as if your body is whispering a secret you must not ignore. In those precious moments, listen carefully to your inner signals, for they carry wisdom about your overall well-being. Such episodes of dizziness or sudden weakness can be alarming, as they may indicate a transient ischemic attack or TIA, a mini-stroke, or an irregular heartbeat such as atrial fibrillation. Let me share the story of George, a 72-year-old former firefighter known for his resilience and adventurous spirit. One day, while in his kitchen, George suddenly felt lightheaded. His vision blurred momentarily, and his leg felt weak, as if his strength was momentarily abandoning him. He brushed it off as a momentary lapse, a minor glitch in an otherwise active day, unaware that his body was pleading for urgent attention through that fleeting, yet significant episode. Research shows that TIAs are critical warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. They may resolve quickly, but they serve as a reminder that a more serious stroke could be imminent if not addressed promptly. Medical studies consistently reveal that even brief episodes of weakness or dizziness demand careful evaluation and follow-up, ensuring that early intervention can safeguard long-term health and prevent tragic outcomes in our later years. Remember, my friends, that our bodies, with all their complexity, often try to give us a heads up before something serious happens. Those unexpected moments of dizziness or weakness are not just fleeting discomforts. They are our body's way of urging us to slow down and get checked. Embrace these signals with compassion and respect, for by listening closely, you honor your life's journey and protect the invaluable gift of health. Have you ever experienced a sudden bout of dizziness or felt unexpectedly weak? What did you do in that moment, and how did it affect your day? Number 4, swelling in the legs or abdomen. As we continue our journey together, let's discuss the 4th sign, swelling in the legs or abdomen. After a long day of activity, you might notice that your ankles or feet appear puffier than usual, or perhaps your shoes feel tighter. Sometimes even your abdomen might seem more bloated. It's easy to attribute these changes to the simple fact of aging, or to dismiss them as temporary fluid retention after a day of standing. However, these subtle signals can gently remind you that your body may be asking for extra care. So take a moment to observe any persistent differences and changes. Yet, persistent or worsening swelling could be a sign of underlying issues such as heart failure, kidney problems, or even liver disease. Let me tell you about Frank, a 76-year-old Navy veteran who lived a life full of vibrant energy and community spirit. Over several weeks, Frank noticed that his ankles became noticeably swollen. Initially, he thought it was just a little water retention, or the result of too much salt in his diet. But when the swelling didn't subside and began affecting his ability to walk comfortably, his wife gently insisted he see a doctor. By then, the swelling was a clear signal that his heart was struggling to keep up with his body's demands, reminding us all that early attention to these changes could alter our health outcomes dramatically. Medical studies have shown that edema, this swelling in the legs, feet, or abdomen, can be an early indicator of heart failure, which affects a significant number of older adults. Recognizing these changes early and treating them promptly can help manage the condition before it escalates into a more severe problem that disrupts everyday life. Research continues to emphasize the value of monitoring these signs, as timely intervention not only preserves physical function, but also nurtures our overall quality of life. Life lessons from the elderly remind us that every change in our body is a narrative waiting to be understood, a story of resilience and a prompt to seek help when needed. Each small symptom, like the swelling you notice after a long day, is part of a larger dialogue with your body, urging you to listen carefully and respond with care, compassion, and appropriate medical advice. Embrace these lessons as gentle reminders to respect your health and well-being, knowing that early awareness can lead to lasting comfort and vitality. If you're still here with me, type 4 in the comments to let me know you're finding this information helpful. Number 5. Unusual fatigue that appears suddenly. Imagine waking up after a full night's sleep, but instead of feeling refreshed, you feel completely drained, like you've been running a marathon in your sleep. You try to push through the day, but everything feels like a struggle. Even simple tasks like making coffee or getting dressed leave you feeling wiped out. You tell yourself it's just part of getting older, but deep down, something feels different. Unusual fatigue, especially if it comes on suddenly and doesn't seem to have an obvious cause, can be a major warning sign of an impending heart attack or serious cardiovascular issue. When the heart is struggling to pump blood effectively, the body starts redirecting energy to keep vital organs functioning, which can leave you feeling exhausted even if you haven't done anything physically demanding. In some cases, extreme fatigue can show up weeks before a major cardiac event. Consider Ruth, a 70-year-old retired librarian. She had always been full of energy, known for her morning walks and love of gardening, but one month she started feeling different. She felt unusually tired after just a few minutes of activity. A trip to the grocery store left her completely wiped out. She choked it up to aging, but the fatigue only got worse. Then, one morning, she woke up feeling a strange pressure in her chest. By the time she got to the hospital, doctors told her she was in the middle of a heart attack. The exhaustion she had been feeling for weeks was actually her body's way of warning her in advance. Fatigue caused by heart trouble doesn't feel like normal tiredness. It's not the kind of exhaustion that gets better with rest. It lingers, making everyday activities feel overwhelming. Some people even describe it as a sudden loss of stamina, as if their body just won't cooperate the way it used to. If you've noticed that your energy levels have dropped drastically, and there's no clear explanation, especially if you feel weaker than usual or find yourself needing more naps, don't ignore it. Your body could be trying to tell you that something is wrong. Fatigue is one of those symptoms that's easy to brush off, but when it's tied to heart disease, it can be one of the earliest red flags. Have you ever experienced a day when no amount of rest seemed to restore your energy? What did you learn about your own health from that experience, and how did it influence your routine? Number 6. Irregular or racing heartbeat. Imagine sitting in your favorite chair reading a book or watching TV when suddenly your heart starts racing out of nowhere. It feels like it's fluttering, skipping beats, or pounding harder than usual, even though you're just sitting still. Maybe it only lasts for a few seconds before things return to normal, so you brush it off as stress or too much caffeine. But what if I told you that an irregular or racing heartbeat, especially if it happens frequently, could be a silent warning sign of something far more dangerous? Your heart is like an engine, and when it starts misfiring, it's a sign that something isn't working as it should. One of the most common causes of an irregular heartbeat is atrial fibrillation, a condition where the heart beats in an erratic, disorganized way. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it significantly increases the risk of stroke, heart failure, and sudden cardiac arrest. When the heart doesn't beat properly, blood can pool in the chambers, leading to dangerous clots that can travel to the brain or lungs. Think about Tom, a 73-year-old grandfather who always considered himself healthy. One evening, while playing cards with his friends, he felt his heart start racing unexpectedly. It settled down after a minute, so he ignored it. But over the next few weeks, it kept happening, short bursts of rapid heartbeats that came and went without warning. Finally, during a routine checkup, his doctor detected an irregular rhythm. Further tests revealed he had atrial fibrillation, and he was immediately started on treatment. His doctor told him that if he had waited much longer, he could have been at serious risk of a life-threatening stroke. So how can you tell if your heart is trying to warn you? Pay attention to irregular beats, fluttering sensations, or any episodes where your heart suddenly speeds up without reason. If you ever feel dizzy, lightheaded, or short of breath when this happens, don't ignore it. These are signs that your heart may not be pumping blood effectively, which can quickly turn into an emergency. Even if the symptoms seem minor, getting checked out early can prevent a major cardiac event down the line. Ignoring an irregular heartbeat is like ignoring a warning light on your car's dashboard. You might not notice a problem right away, but eventually, something serious could go wrong. If you're still here with me, type 6 in the comments to let me know you're finding this information helpful. Final thoughts. We've just discussed 6 important warning signs that may signal a serious health problem before sudden death occurs. These signs, unexplained shortness of breath, regular chest discomfort, swelling in the legs or abdomen, unusual fatigue, and an irregular or racing heartbeat, are your body's way of alerting you that something might be wrong. Unfortunately, many of us tend to dismiss these signs as simple nuisances or normal parts of aging, but it's important to understand that these symptoms can be early warnings of a much more serious condition. If you have experienced any of these symptoms, please don't hesitate to get them checked by your doctor, even if the issue seems minor. Recognizing and addressing these signs early can help prevent many sudden, tragic events. It's always better to be cautious and proactive than to face regret later. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever noticed any of these symptoms in yourself, or do you know someone who has? What part of today's message resonated with you the most? Please feel free to leave a comment and share one thing you learned and how you plan to take care of your health moving forward. Your insights and experiences are very valuable to us and help keep our community strong and informed. If you found this information helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends and family. Your support allows us to continue offering useful content that aims to protect and inspire us all. As the old proverb says, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Take care of yourself and remember that your health is the most precious gift you have. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.